We can hear the flush.
All right, we're live. Welcome to paraglidingtalk.com. I'm your host, Robert Michaels. Tonight, you're joined by David, Paramotor Crazy, Trike Flying Machine. Also, Sean is with us. Sean is in the moderation section of the show. He's in an undisclosed area right now in a basement, deep in the bowels of the earth right now. He's with us. He stayed up late so that he could do it.
Happy birthday, Sean. Happy birthday, everybody.
That's right. Happy
Thank
birthday,
you.
Sean. And we are all now live on the internet. So glad that you're here tonight. Want to do the order of business as always. This show is brought to you by some very special sponsors. Let's go ahead and do a screen share here. The show is brought to you by flymyppg.com. flymyppg.com. Mike Cotter in the group. Mike Cotter is going to be on the show tonight, by the way. If you're anywhere in the Michigan area and you're interested in powered paragliding, reach out to Mike Cotter and the guys at flymyppg.com. That's fly as in MIPPG.com. Show's also brought to you by iflyindiana.com. iFlyIndiana, powered paragliding. If you're interested in flying paramotors, no better place to get the proper training than iflyindiana.com. Kevin and his team will get your feet off the ground. Check out iflyindiana.com. Show's also brought to you by the Tri-State Skywalkers, one of my favorite clubs in the flying community. And Tri-State Skywalkers is on Facebook. There's a link here on the website, paraglidingtalk.com. You can also catch their show. They have a show called Paramotor Nation on Sunday nights. You need to check that out if you can get a chance to do that. And if you're interested in starting a club, reach out to
Brandon McCloud.
Yeah, no, what is that noise? There we go. Thank you. Yeah, so Brandon's going to be jumping on here pretty soon, but Brandon's a sponsor of the show. Really appreciate him. He just went flying. He called me a few minutes before the show, or actually logged in when I sent out the invite. Show is also brought to you by Para-Orange Products. Para-Orange Products run by Larry and Chris. He calls her the bag lady. If you're interested in buying some great products for your paramotoring and free flying needs, he's got all kinds of great stuff on the website. Go check out paraorangeproducts.com. You can also reach him by phone or by email at larry@paraorangeproducts.com. Show's also brought to you by ppgsmoke.com. Ryan Roberts started this PPG Smoke, and he's got all kinds of stuff coming out. We got chase cams, smoke machines. We've got power floats, and he's even working on a very special project, which he just sent me some more details coming soon. It's going to be an incredible thing. You don't want to miss that. ppgsmoke.com. Show is also brought to you by Paramotor Tools, LLC. Paramotortools.com. If you're interested in buying tools that you can take with you when you go flying your paramotor, it's a nice thing to have. You need it. If you want to advertise with us, reach out to me in this special sponsor form and tell me about what you're wanting to peddle. And I'll be sure to add your advertisement to the show. And I appreciate that. You can catch these details at paraglidingtalk.com. Okay, we've got a special show tonight. Mike Cotter reached out to me a little while ago, and he said he was going to be doing some training stuff this weekend, and I wasn't sure if I was even going to be able to make it to this show. So I'm pretty excited. I was able to make it to the show, and it's going to work out. And thank you, by the way, David, for logging in. He just got off of work, stepped in the house, and he's with us. Thank you. Pleasure. Appreciate that. I know you're not feeling well. So if he disappears or if falls asleep, it's because he drank some NyQuil just before the show started. But he should be fine. We'll just send Sean over there to wake him up.
There you go.
Yeah.
And I know CPR real well. I use my feet and just stomp real good.
That's awesome.
So I'm not sure if Terry or Dave is with us. Is that Terry or Dave? Oh no, the sound is bad. I can't hear him.
He sounds like a chipmunk.
Yeah.
Like a chipmunk. This is awesome. What are you talking about, Brad? This is the greatest thing ever. Wow.
So Dave, you
See?
might have Dave or Terry. I'm not sure who that is. Do you know who that is?
It says Dave.
Oh, it
Get-
is Dave. Well, he might be using Dave's stuff.
Oh.
Okay, it's
He's
Terry
not. He's
using
not.
Dave. So maybe log out and try to log back in. Mike Cotter and the guys are in the background doing some training, and not sure he's using a hotspot, so I don't think the internet likes the hotspot.
I think it's
Mixed
just the whole state of
poopy.
Michigan is the issue right there.
Yeah. Some Flint water got into the internet somehow. Is it too
Wait a
soon to
minute.
talk about that?
We're under the canopy. That might help. All right. Oh, he's on mute right now, I think.
Yeah, he is muted.
I was just gonna see if maybe we might be able to get him to sing a song while it was like that. You
It
know,
does.
like
Literally sounds like chipmunks.
yeah.
It's been a while, but we're
Yeah,
back.
so if you can log out, log back in, try it. Maybe if you've got to do it, if you got to do it directly from the computer, sometimes that works out better. And then we'll check back in with you when you work it out.
Can you do over the rainbow, somewhere over the rainbow? Just like the beginning part. I gotta hear this. Oh,
There's a couple things that I wanted to talk about, and one of those is keep praying for Butch Knight. We know that he had a little accident, and so he's recovering. One of the things that this is a second incident for him, and this has to do with weather and weather prediction. Excuse me. And so one of the things that we really want to stress about to the whole flying community and anybody that's watching, really be specific when you're looking at your weather. Make that a discipline that, in my opinion, should be your first discipline. We're back online.
How's that?
Much
There we go.
better.
All right. There's paramotor motor. This is Dave Drillette.
Dave.
Cotter roped me into this.
Yeah. Last minute too.
We got 6 people doing their first flights tonight here at Fly Michigan PPG. So, and they're all doing fantastic. You see some big smiles on the faces. So,
Nice.
yeah. In fact, here comes a second flight lander. Let's see if I can't catch it. There.
Looks like there's a little bit of wind out there.
Yeah, it's great for landing. I'm terrible at laptop cameras.
Wow.
And I probably missed that, but anyway.
No, you got it. It was
All right,
perfect.
cool. So Mike's out with the students. He said, hey, start the show for me. So yeah, you're right. I'm sitting on a golf cart with a hot spot in the middle of airport, right at where the runways cross. So
That hotspot works like a champ.
yeah, it should take care of my data plan pretty darn quick tonight, huh?
Yeah. We're gonna burn it all up.
Terry Williamson is here with me. We just got done with a round trip flight around St. John's, Michigan, the metropolis of St. John's. So
Oh, nice.
yeah.
How was
That's why the
that?
helmet there. Awesome. A few water towers, some cell towers, some wildlife, Michigan wildlife. You know, it's just a great time of year to fly out here. It's super wet, probably like just everywhere else. There goes another one. I'm not gonna grab the camera and make everybody just sick. Here we go.
Yeah, you're good. I want to see.
And there is Justin Fox right there behind the motor. But he's they're out here. They got 6 students first flights tonight. It's really exciting, super exciting. I love the look on a new pilot's face.
Well, don't make them nervous.
In here.
Don't tell them that 70 people are watching their every move on their first launches and landings. That might really mess them up.
Yeah.
Just shout really loud. We're live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're doing it live.
You got 4 thumbs down. Let's step it up.
Kodiak Express in the house.
Yeah.
Thank you for your contribution, man. And thank you for your comments.
Doubled
More
up.
importantly, I love the comments.
Kind of mute. I got
Kodiak is a local. He's here. I can't make sure you come and say hi, by the way, Kodiak, when if we ever fly together, you need to come and say hello.
Kodiak looks a lot like Mandy Patinkin.
I know. That's why I want to meet him. I'm pretty
Stunning.
sure it's him.
Stunning resemblance.
Yeah. So
So
Dave,
Yes, Robert. Hey, you were talking
other-
about weather.
so the other Dave, I do want to mention.
Oh, that Dave.
Yeah, I want to talk real quick and pick your brain a little bit about flying over there.
All right, coming back to you. Had a motor start.
Nice.
Here we go.
So take
Here,
us
you
through your
idiot.
flight. How many
What's up, brother? I got a guy in the air, so I'm talking to
Look
him
at
in the air.
It's all about me now, buddy. It's all about me.
I'll come
That's
back
right.
a little bit.
Beat it.
we don't need Mike Cotter. We don't need him.
It's,
All right,
it's
have a good stuff.
Dave now. I'm owner operator now. Anyway, I'm sorry. What was your question,
Dave
Robert?
show. No, I wanted to talk a little bit of your flight today and so you guys planned on doing this kind of cross country thing? Is that what you said?
Yeah, flying with Terry Williamson, this guy doesn't stay up in the air for less than 2 hours. He's a nut. I'm gonna move the camera a little closer to the monitor so I'm looking. Sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
He's a nut. He's got me wanting to stay in the air longer and longer. So I'm starting to fill my tank. Up to that nitro holds 11.5 liters. I've been filling it up and running it down to the bare minimum. I use the little throttle mirror that I make a lot. There's a plug for paramotortools.com right there.
Yeah.
Told you, Steve Kane. I told you I'd get one in.
Yeah.
Terry's laughing over here. Yeah, he's a huge encouragement to these long flights. They just attempted to cross the state of Michigan lengthwise from Indiana up to the bridge, and
No
almost
kidding.
made it. Yeah, almost made it. Of course, they. I think 1 out of 4. What was it, Terry? How many people made it across the east to west? Yeah, one out of 4 made it across there. So he's going to try again. That's for sure.
Terry's right there.
Yeah, Terry's right here. Come on over, Terry. Come and join me on the Dave show.
That's right.
There he is,
What's up, guys?
Mr. Marathon
you
Flyer.
So you guys killed it today then.
Yeah,
That was a good flight.
actually I planned tonight's flight. So
That's right. I was
yeah.
following along tonight.
Yeah, we went around the metropolis of St. John's. There's got to be at least 4,000 or 5,000 people living there.
No kidding.
No,
And so you're just
it's
skirting
a-
airspace or what?
Oh yeah. It's not even populated area. We where we're at Fly Michigan PPG. We're just inside the Gerald R. Ford International airspace. There, he's landing and nailed it. All right, love to
Beautiful.
see that. So all we got to do is get up, go about a quarter mile north underneath 2,000 feet, and we're free to fly. So it's really cool.
Okay, so it's pretty simple flight planning.
Yeah, and the guys here, Mike and the guys have been working with the local township to establish some good neighbor rules because they just got established last year. So they've been meeting with the township, and tonight's rule pretty much was get up and get away. So Terry and I, when we came back, we came in about 1,000 feet and spiraled down in so we don't go over the houses. But as long as we're working together with the people out here, we can all coexist and have fun.
That's great. I really like that idea. So you set something up, you're using this airfield, and you set some ground rules before you started. Obviously,
Yeah.
they probably want that. So
Oh yeah.
does that include some kind of an insurance?
I don't know. I'd have to talk to the official guys about that. Terry and I just kind of use it as a, friends of the owner sort of thing,
Got it.
because we're always looking for a place to fly. Our home airport is in Lowell, Michigan, which is just east of Grand Rapids, Michigan. That's where we're both kind of from, the Grand Rapids area.
We've been trying to do a lot with that local airport, attend the meetings, really get them to know what we're doing, how we're flying, how we come in, how we leave. And the pilots have been great.
Yeah.
We've had some issues in the past, and now they just love it, because they know what we're doing.
And that really is a critical thing when we're talking about keeping airstrips and keeping places where we can launch from. This is a really important conversation. I'm so glad that we're having it. If you want to keep sites open, it's going to involve some footwork, and many times that stuff goes unnoticed. And when it gets neglected, that's when you lose sites. I like what you mentioned. You guys were up high when you came in. You spiraled down, so your motor's down low. It's quiet. You come in and land. They don't even know you're there.
Somebody's got to be the papa.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, there's people who live on airports that don't like planes. Huh.
Yeah.
Funny enough,
Imagine that.
don't like air noise.
Here's Mr. Justin Fox.
There's the other half. Wait, you
This
guys
is
are
Justin,
nice.
my partner at Fly My, the infamous, the mystery man.
I like the shirts, man. Those are sweet.
Sweet. I'm gonna go.
Good,
I'm having myself a mojo party, so I'll see you guys next time.
He's going to Florida.
All right, get it.
I think you saw last time you saw him was the crazy trailer party.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a
something
a
else.
feather in the hat for Michigan Flyers, huh, Mike?
Yeah.
Huh?
Well, we got 6 up today. We've got 5 more Michigan PPGers. And over the last, I think, 5 classes, we've put up, I want to say it's 28 Michigan power pilots.
Two ladies
And
in
today,
this class.
we've got 2 gals. Hey, ladies, Amy, Nicole, come here for a sec. You guys can ask her about their first flights here.
They want you on the interweb. It's AOL.
Good job. This is
It's
Amy.
AOL.
Amy out of Michigan.
Hey,
Nicole is our new PPGers.
Nice.
Fresh-
Congratulations.
right on.
Yep.
First flights today.
Yep. Yeah.
It'll be there.
It was amazing.
So yeah, what do you think?
Find this Adam 80 because
It was awesome.
Yeah. It was pretty
How
awesome.
much do you weigh?
180.
Are you completely addicted?
Getting there.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy one tonight. So
Yeah.
Nice.
I think the ring gives it away. The cheese. They got the cheese. You see that? They got the cheese. Anytime they got the bug, that's when it hits the cheese. Like, yeah, I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
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 That's great. So you did some. Now you started today, ground handling.
No. We just did our first flights today. We
You did
started
your first
on
flights today.
Sunday with the ground handling, and then so this is we've been going for a few days, working up to this.
So how'd you find out about paramotoring?
YouTube.
Don't say.
Along with every other pilot who has ever flown.
Yeah, I did
How
too.
has your
Yeah.
experience been so far this week training up there at Fly My PPG?
Oh, it's been great. I mean, we'd learn each step before we progress to the next one. So I think I felt pretty ready to go tonight. So
Yeah, they don't send you unless they
unless
know
you're
you're
ready. Yep.
That's awesome.
What motor did you guys use?
Adam,
I assume Adam 80. Okay, that's a popular light one.
Yep.
On a Maverick, right?
on a Maverick.
Yep.
On a
Yeah,
Maverick.
both
So you did one go around and that's it, or how many touch and goes did you do so far?
I did 2 flights, so 2 launches and landings. So yeah.
And the sun is still out. You guys want more?
I know. Look at that sunset. It's just killer.
I got to see the start of that from up in the air.
Nice. So you guys are locals there, obviously. Probably can't hear me.
Is that Justin?
Yeah.
Yeah, Justin pushing that Adam 80 to its limits.
Justin's going up to watch the sunset again.
Actually, no, Justin doesn't push that motor to its limits. He's right sized.
He's right size. You should have seen Todd Scandrett's comment. He said, "Stand up, Justin."
Yeah, everybody says that. I don't know why.
Yeah.
So I've got some, I have a very important question. Are you all subscribers?
I am.
No.
Paraglidingtalk.com.
No, probably not. Not subscribers to.
I got to introduce the hardest working man in PPG. This is Bob Harris.
Bob Harris. I know Bob. Me and Bob go way back.
Big Bob.
Way back?
Yeah, we go way back, man. Bob Harris. I think you won some stuff, didn't you? I feel like I sent you some stuff before.
Say yes.
Bob Harris.
Sure.
Cotter.
What did you win a Tow Pro or something?
GoPro. ToPro?
No, I don't
He doesn't know how to turn on his iPhone.
I have Bob Harris in my. He's in the list. Why is
He's
that
one of our-
stick? Why is that?
lead instructor here at Fly My, other than Justin.
He got the
Okay.
GoPro and he couldn't get his Kodak Instamatic tape to it.
No, we're having a lot of fun. Training wonderful students.
Right on. Well, I'm glad to finally meet you. I've seen you in the chat a few times.
Yeah, talking to
Nope,
you.
that's not me. Me. It's like I don't know how to do that.
Oh, here comes a little Justin Fox action. We'll have to. Anyway,
It's like, hey, get out of here. We're doing a show.
the thing sounds like a sewing machine. Honestly, the Atom 80 does, but it's a pretty.
Yeah. I want to try one really bad. They sound like a. I like how Tucker calls them a microwave.
Microwave. Yeah, I think he was right there
Yeah.
as well.
Is there any
we
other
got
limits
good
to the
contingency engines here. We got Mosters. I fly a Nitro, which I bought from. I trained at Midwest PPG with Dave Halcomb, Matt Massey. Yeah. These guys weren't open yet, so.
I got a question for you on the Atom 80. Other than, I guess, not as much lift as a stronger motor, any other limits to them?
In what regard? What limits are? I mean, as far as what?
Anything else that someone might not be as excited about, or any issues?
Yeah, I think the weight. If you're over, 190, I probably would say that you would want to look at a Moster 185, the Maverick Moster, as opposed to the Atom 80.
Okay.
But Dale's a great. Justin just took off. Justin's pushing now, 205? I mean, 185, I'd say. So,
I think in Tucker's video, in Tucker's video, I think because I was just looking at that video the other day, looking at the Atom 80, and I think he said unless you're just doing acro and going down and going back up, it's great.
you might be thinking of the Tornado.
The Tornado?
Yeah, the more powerful.
No, he was saying that was the Atom 80 that he unboxed and he flew out of the beach. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen that one yet. I've been pretty busy with the students. So
You'll be happy to know. Mr.
So-
Mark Ryder got his chair back today. Finally, he's watching you right now.
What a cheater, dude! I invited him to come to Fly My to pick up his chair so I could fly with the guy, and he sent his whipping boy, apparently Mr. Brandon McCloud.
Wow.
I signed it, Mark. I signed it that Fly My PPG was here. So
There it is. There's a chair. Uh-oh.
I'm gonna let these guys make more sense to you. I'm gonna
There
continue
it is, Mike.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Mike. Back to the Dave show.
It's my day to plan anyway, so.
Yeah, we want more Dave.
clean it up.
Guys.
Putting in motors and loading up the gem cars and the golf carts and the scooters and the one wheels and the unicycles and the.
Let's hope they don't pull away because my laptop's on one cart and the hotspot's on the other. So.
Yeah. So I want to go back to your flight today. As far as the what do you look at when you get up in the morning? You're like, okay, we're gonna go plan. You put some gas in the tank. You start loading stuff up. What are you looking for weather-wise ahead of your flight?
I'm into about 2 years now, and my tolerance for bumps is fairly high. But I like to enjoy my flights. I like to have smooth air, and to me, I could push it. I could get up in 8-9 miles an hour, maybe push later into the day and get thermally. But to me, that's not enjoyable. So, I'm an old dude, so I like to ride the smooth stuff. If I see something 8 or less and the gusts are below 15, then I load the thing into the truck. I work, so I load it, take it to work, and then usually meet up with Terry or somebody right after work and go for a flight. It's what I look forward to all day. In fact, I don't get any work done.
What websites do you get your weather information from, or where do you get your weather information?
I use 2 apps.
Virginia.
I use 2 apps. So I use Windy, and I found that Windy is probably hit it maybe 80 or 90% of the time, honestly. And then US AirNet, I think it is. Because US AirNet has a link to local winds aloft. So
Same
if
with
I-
Ryan Carlton.
yeah,
It's not an app, but it's a website. Ryan
Yeah.
Carlton's good for winds aloft.
Yep.
Noah
Yeah.
for a general pick on it.
I know that guy.
Yeah.
Surf.
iKite Surf.
For accurate forecasting.
Accurate forecasting.
No, iKite Surf is accurate forecasting.
iKite Surf is accurate forecasting.
Sound like a plug to me. Sound like a plug to me.
It worked. It's
Not
on the
unlike the
internet.
plug for paramotortools.com.
I tell you what, the best app is walking out your door and taking a look at the area and looking at your trees in your local area. Are they blowing? You know,
Yeah.
just really getting a real good sense
It's called
of
a window breeze.
kind of your window.
Now that we have leaves on our trees, we can look up and see the tips of them, whether they're rowdy or not. Tonight was really good. I mean, I watched this day all week and it was consistent. And then, I called Mike and his mom said it was okay if I came over and played. And so my mom said it was all right. So I threw the motor in the truck and here I am. Actually, I skipped work.
Hi, honey. I'll be home in like 9 days.
Oh my gosh.
Say 9 days.
Well, yeah.
That's my hotspot.
The reason I bring up the weather conversation is we recently had a guy, Butch. You guys probably know Butch. He ended up launching. Winds were fine, but while he was in the air, the weather changed. And this is the second time it's happened to him, and he ended up getting hurt. This is the second time that he got hurt.
Ooh.
And what happened? There's different times, obviously different times of the day here for me. If I try to go to Blossom at, let's say, if I try to go there at 3 o'clock in the afternoon in the summer, it's going to be gusting 21 or 20 to 25 sometimes on launch. And you literally just have to wait it out for the glass off.
Yeah.
And that's predictable because it's a site that we fly at often.
Yeah,
But
I watched your videos and I noticed there's big differences in the winds that you guys like and the motor guys like and the 12.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I guess what I'm getting at,
Felt like at this point.
say that one more time.
I wouldn't know what a thermal felt like at this point because
Oh,
I go late into the night.
and there's nothing wrong with that. I personally enjoy the glass off. That's my favorite type of flying. But nevertheless, you can get into a situation because you didn't check out the forecast ahead of your flying. And when you become a competent pilot, my opinion is you're able to judge the weather ahead of the game, go out there and have a great time. And the more that you know, the safer, in my opinion, you can be.
Oh yeah. My family's sick of me talking about the weather. They know every time I go outside, I'm going to give them the local forecast. And every time I fly by a farm field or something, they're thinking, I wonder if that's flyable. I wonder if I can launch out of there.
Yeah.
So I'm truly addicted. Thanks, Jim.
Something we teach our students around here is not to get so sucked into the climate just right around your area, but to look around, 50, 60 miles outside of your area, because you never know what's going to be popping up outside. Gust fronts can come. They can hit you 25, 30, 50 miles away, depending on whatever's moving through. So, it's important to not just look at what is outside your window, but, look at the area around you too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on the leeward side of Lake Michigan. So we've got this huge weather generator over there. It does give us our share of Michigan laminar winds. I guess they're pretty laminar when they're on shore. They're nice. In fact, Terry and I did a 45-mile flight a couple nights ago, just along the lake shore.
That's great.
So yeah, but that lake generates a lot of weather for us, especially in the winter. We get what they call lake effect snow. And where we're at, we're within 50, 60 miles of the shore. We get a lot of snow off that lake. And conversely, in the winter, we get a lot of storms come across. And I watch them. I watch them as they come from Wisconsin. And most often, they'll die over the lake, or they'll intensify like crazy. So, yeah.
We're gonna give something away. We're gonna give away a Tow Pro. It's that time of the show, the half-hour mark. Thank you, by the way, for your sponsorship, Mike. If you're still right there somewhere, appreciate you sponsoring the show. It means the world to me, and anything to motivate safer flying. Really appreciate that. So tonight's Tow Pro. Oh, it's a white one. Take a look at that. Toe Pro that you can strap to your boot or your shoe or whatever, as long as you wear shoes when you fly. And you can put your GoPro. It's got the perfect mount there. Johnny Visconti made these. Reach out to Johnny Visconti if you want to get some of these. I'm going to be sending this out to the winner tonight. And Sean's put your name, if you're in the chat, if you've been talking, your name's been secretly put inside of a hat. Sean, pull the name, Sean, and tell him who won.
All right, folks. And I was actually gonna say something to the guests here about how crazy their family looks at them when they're staring at birds.
Oh yeah,
because that's something that I do is stare at the birds out here in Ohio. It gives you a lot of insight. If the birds are struggling with it, odds are you're probably going to struggle with it too. You know. Tell me when.
Do it now.
Ooh, Trike Flyer.
What? Trike Flyer doesn't need a Toe Pro. Congratulations, David Ruff.
Dave Ruff.
You are the winner chicken dinner. I don't know if I have his information, but I know that he's watching. Congratulations, David. You won the Toe Pro tonight. I'll be sending that out very soon. Well, since we're talking about that, David Ruff is coming on the show next week. We're going to interview him and talk about some organization of some events that are coming that I cannot talk about yet. But pretty incredible things are coming.
Hey, Robert, I want to thank you very much for having us. So we got to run and debrief. After
Okay.
So, but thank you so much. You guys rock. Keep up,
Mike,
man.
Dave.
Love guys. Paramotor Nation, way to go. What's up,
Hey, bud, thanks.
Craig?
What's up, buddy?
This guy.
Yeah, you.
I would love to see it.
All right.
And by the way, thank you for using up your gigabytes for the show.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I got 1.21 or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, I got plenty.
You know, before
And what he
you
doesn't have,
go,
he'll steal.
I got to make sure everyone these guys, Justin Fox and Mike Cotter, sponsored basically a student for Resurgence. I know Resurgence has brought up a lot on this show, but
Yes.
guys, you definitely give it up to them. They donated a whole slot. This is basically the first full year of their school.
Yeah, I'll be here.
We
what,
all
next
know
week?
how it's hard to start businesses, and they've given up an entire slot to sponsor this guy, and then a few other Michigan guys kind of donated the rest. So very much kudos to these guys.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah. And by the way, I really appreciate everybody who jumped on board last week and made huge contributions. David Wolf put together and the guys from Tri-State Skywalkers.
Lori Kadakis donated those gloves. So thank
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, big cooler.
All right. See you guys.
There's a one wheel over here.
Okay. Thank you. Have a
Good
great night.
All right. See you, Robert.
All right, brother. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
So,
Good
by the
thing
way,
Pro because now he got Trike Flyer got this amazing haircut. He doesn't have that hair out to hair anymore. Now it's nice and tight.
you got a haircut too, huh?
Oh yeah, thanks for noticing.
Yeah.
You
I did.
no one else noticed. Thanks.
I
I think
noticed.
Sean got one as well. Nice, Sean. Looks good, buddy.
Sean, nice.
That's the same as it's been, man. You know.
Is Brandon and Mark still there? I can barely see them anymore. There you
Oh,
are.
yeah.
They're watching the stars.
Brandon's using up all of his gigabytes as well. Hopefully, he has unlimited. 74 people are logged in.
Mhm.
We've got some good stuff. By the way, thank you again, Resurgence PPG. And I didn't put the plug in at the beginning of the show, but if you're interested in making some tax-deductible donations to your favorite organization, Resurgence PPG should be your go-to. If you're doing donation type stuff, it's a great cause. They sponsor military guys, veterans, some of them who might have PTSD, or some of them that are wounded warriors. And like not too long ago, he sponsored a guy, single leg amputee. He got up in the air. He was able to fly, so now he's a pilot. There's another guy that was a double leg amputee. He's been flying, and he's already a better paramotor pilot than I am. Pretty incredible. John Faber, thanks for your contribution, man. Appreciate you. And he said, paragliding talk rules. No, you rule, bro. You do. But one of the questions in the comments asked about Larry. Larry's on the fast track to recovery. Pair of Orange Products, Larry. Yeah, he had an accident. We're going to talk to him soon. As soon as he's ready, we're going to have him on the show and talk about his debacle. He ended up getting hurt. So just pray for him for speedy recovery. Also, Butch Knight, he had an accident, and he's recovering. I don't know if he's watching or not, but we're praying for you, buddy, and speedy recovery to you. And I was telling somebody the other day, he's a tough cookie, so we don't have to worry about him. He'll be fine.
So, Robert, you were talking about Butch earlier. You were talking about weather, right?
Yeah. So
I'm wondering if we can go. I'm wondering if we can get Brandon, if you can unmute, because Brandon's got a story that happened today. And I think in this world we go through training and we don't know what we don't know. And there's a lot of different skill sets of pilots. Some people come from an aviation background and some do not. And Brandon, I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit about what happened today, because there's a huge educational value that I think you have that you can bring. Thanks, James Sutherland.
James
I don't
Sutherland.
even know if you can hear me, buddy. Can you?
I can hear you.
So yeah, we have like pretty spotty service here by the hangar, so I'm not sure you can actually get my signal coming through. But yeah, I mean, David, actually, I mean, once you bring up a little bit of what you did, I mean, as far as your flight this morning.
Oh, I don't think, was it me? I don't know if it was me. Was it me? It could have been me. I don't know if it was me. It might have been somebody else, but it could have been me. All right. So this morning, we went down to the airport where Brandon is sitting right now in the dark with Mark Ryder and Patrick Bryant. And it was me and Mark. I'm sorry, me and Brandon and Patrick. And again, for the second time this week, there was a lot of fog in there. And my plan was to go down to far down the runway and off to the sod fields where we fly, and set up to do 30 touch and goes. And so I set up some cones and some frisbees and got myself all set up. But I knew I was going to be sitting there a while waiting for the fog to lift. And I kind of gave myself till about 7:45, and then I was going to give up on it. But about 7:40, the fog had lifted enough that I had a mile visibility in each direction. And so as far as I'm concerned, it's safe to launch. And Brandon, why don't you take it from there?
Yeah, so the fog really didn't lift all that well, actually, because we had a switch in the wind. So it was coming out of the north, and then it switched from the south and blew the fog back in, essentially. So it got to be poor visibility. And we were under low IFR conditions. So, I like to check the METAR and get the ATIS whenever I come out to the airport to fly. If it's low IFR, I don't go.
Now, Brandon, can you explain what that is for people like me that have no idea or never heard before today of IFR?
Yeah, IFR is Instrument Flight Rules. That's what it stands for. So as a pilot, if you're a private pilot, you're not allowed to fly under instrument flight rules. Instrument meteorological conditions, and that has to do with visibility, basically, and clouds and everything else. So you don't want to be out flying when you have those kinds of conditions as a private pilot. So you have to actually follow an IFR flight plan if you're a pilot, even with an instrument rating, to do that.
Right.
So with that visibility, you don't want to be flying.
So as far as everything that I knew and that I had visibility in the mile direction, I didn't realize that we were under IFR, low IFR, and that I was not able to fly. And I'm sharing this not to reveal that I'm the idiot that everybody thinks I am, but it's just, again, I don't know. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that just don't know, and they should know these things now. And that's, that's the whole purpose of Paragliding Talk and Paramotor Nation, is we want to educate and let everybody know so that they don't put themselves at risk or another pilot at risk or our whole sport at risk. Right, Brandon? So I had gotten up, as far as I'm concerned, I was flying around, I wasn't more than 120 feet off the ground at any time. And I was flying just in a small little pattern, just in this field. I had plenty of visibility, but again, that doesn't matter because we were under low IFR, which I didn't know. And Brandon, if you wouldn't mind, could you share with everybody where they would find this out? If there's fog and they think it's lifted and it's safe to fly.
Well, there's several different ways to check that. There's different websites you can check. 1-800-weatherbrief.com is a site that a lot of pilots will check, and that's free. You can also use apps. I use ForeFlight, which is something you have to pay for. but that kind of gives you a full, you get to see all the weather in your area, and you can zoom in and zoom out, and you can just kind of pick and choose an airport and see what that local meteorological condition is. And that's what I like to use. You can also call ATIS too. Every airport has a phone number that you can call and get weather information on a recording.
Yep. Have you ever done that in the air?
No, I've never done that. Well, we do it in the air when we're pilots. We can check the ATIS because there's a radio frequency when we're flying airplanes. But for paramotors, I've never done that.
A little bit, a little more difficult.
So I saw Yankee and SC1 had a comment a few minutes ago in regards to, it's not just as easy as walking out the door, taking a look around, and that's your best way of figuring out the weather. Because like I said, as far as I'm concerned, from what I knew, I had a mile visibility. I was safe to fly. There's more to it, and we need to check everything that Brandon just said so that we know we are flying, safely and legally.
Well, when you're flying next to an airport under low IFR, these pilots around here flying, if they see you flying around, they're gonna really, take concern to that.
No joke.
And that could jeopardize our privilege.
Yeah.
That could jeopardize.
Well said.
Our privilege to fly at the airport, around the airport, where we're at. So, we don't play games with that.
Try to, Brandon, try to just put it on your, rather than your face, just your audio, because you're just a black spot anyways. Yeah, that's much better.
Yeah, we're getting
but that's great, man. So at least you got to fly tonight. That's amazing.
Oh no, we didn't, man.
You did not. You went out but couldn't get up in the air.
Yeah, we just didn't like what we saw. The trees were moving pretty hard, and the winds on the ground were kind of switching. We just didn't really feel comfortable about it, and that's the hardest thing to learn as a pilot, is the urge to fly when not to fly, right?
Yeah.
And
well
that's
said.
A very difficult thing to learn. And my instructor when I was flying told me that. He said, you got to fight that urge, resist that. So
wow.
So Brandon had told me something today that he had heard. Yeah, Brandon, can you repeat? And I know what it is, but I'd love for you to share it. What a good way to teach yourself to resist the urge to fly? What your instructor had told you to do?
Yeah, actually, I think I saw this in a post or something that Chris Santa Croce had put out, and he said that he had kind of made a challenge to all pilots, paramotor pilots, I guess paragliding pilots too, to show up to the field one night when it's perfect and not fly. Just don't.
Yeah.
To see if you can resist that urge. I mean, it's kind of a hard thing to learn. But weather is something that's the hardest thing to learn for any pilot, I think, when to fly,
Yeah, I'll two things I was going to say just a minute ago. One of the guys, a local pilot here, who on a regular basis, Chris Ottmar, he'll check the weather while we're in the air. And sometimes, he just actually had a really huge flight. He flew to Palm Springs from Blossom or from Horse or something, which is a really big flight for free flight. But a lot of times when we're flying together, he'll chime in. You'll hear him come on the radio and he'll say, I just checked the weather, blah, blah, blah. And he'll, sometimes he'll look to see if there's, like one day we were flying and there was all these huge puffy clouds around, and there was areas where it was starting to rain in the area, and but nowhere close to where we were. But it was pretty funny because he's in the air checking wind speed, and then he'll check certain things. So I guess one of the more important things that free flight pilots have to consider is what's going to happen towards the end of the day. What's going to happen, when you're in the air. And I think that's what caught a few different people. And I've had this conversation with some of the guys. They've entered contests. And so everybody shows up, everybody's on launch. There's people, setting up booths and all kinds of stuff going on, and they send it. And in the middle of the contest, gust fronts come in and it's mayhem. And I always wonder, how did this get overlooked? And I know that, you know, the Owens Valley always has these, you know, big, huge days. Well, there's a lot of dynamics that are involved. One of the things I was going to mention earlier is that reach out to the pilots that have been around for a while. If you're not savvy on the weather, obviously, you can call somebody, even if they're not flying, and just, hey, I want to ping you real quick. What do you think about flying today? What do you think about this situation? And you save yourself a lot of headache if you'll do that. Consider the old school guys, and I know that's common knowledge tonight, but we're all about it here at paraglidingtalk.com. Fly safe. My wife just gave some more money to YouTube. Thanks, babe.
It amazes me is the responsibility that I found from the guys that I fly with, like Brandon and Patrick and Mark. And Brandon and I were talking, and this goes back to how do we save LZs? And I know a week from Sunday, we've got Todd Falstad's going to be on, and he's going to be talking specifically about that. And he's just, it's going to be a great show. I'm very excited about that. But, you know, we were talking just about a couple things today, and about, you know, when we're out there as a group, if at least two people say it's not safe to fly, we all agree it's not safe to fly, and we walk away from that day, and then we can walk to the bar.
I'll say this too: if even one person tells me it's not safe to fly, I'm going to listen to them.
Yeah,
I'm going to listen to them.
Yeah, I've had a couple flights where I was up in the air. One of those, I didn't really talk about this much, but Kyle O was here, and we did a midday flight, and we launched at Blossom. And it was just, there was a couple times where my wing shot out in front of me and I could see over the trailing edge, and just moments, you know, whoa, and, you know, checking the brakes super hard and trying to just basically keep it overhead. And I don't like that, man. And so in the middle of that flight, I literally said, well, I'm going to get away from this area and I'm just going to start flying in a direction. And if there's stuff over here that I can get up, fine. But if not, I'm okay with landing in the middle of the valley. And I literally landed in the middle of the valley. It was game over. And when I got on the ground, I was kind of like, you know what? I'm okay with this. And it's, you know, it's about an hour hike back up to launch. Actually, David Hatfield came pick me up and gave me a ride. And I appreciate that. By the way, he's going to be coming on the show soon. That'll be a great episode. Kind of, yeah, I'll say we'll keep that a secret. Next week, by the way, David Ruff's going to be on the show. I don't know if he's still watching. That's Trike Flyer. We're going to interview him, talk a little bit about some of his adventures. He recently had an adventure that I want to talk to him about and pick his brain about. We've got all kinds of stuff coming up with the show. There's some new stuff coming. Can't really talk about it too much, but there's some cool things coming shortly. I appreciate everybody who's been supporting the show on Patreon and PayPal. The other day, Patreon sent a message, something about locking funds, and I was like, whoa, what the heck? Why are they locking funds? And I went in there and dug up, found out what they were doing with the there was some kind of fear of fraud, and I went and took a peek at that, and the money's really stacking up in there, and I really appreciate everybody's investments. We're going to do some cool stuff. We by the way, we bought all these Toe Pros, and we're giving these away every week. And Trike Fire said, why do I get the feelings? It's about the video you commented on. That's what we're going to talk about. Pretty incredible.
And just think, you could have had that Toe Pro for that.
He was testing out the chase cam, though. He couldn't have 3 cameras, could he? Can you do 3? My wife said, you better start giving stuff away right now. 10 minutes left of the show. I know, and I have to run right after the show.
Bum, 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 bum.
Bum, 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 bum. That's okay. It's all good. There was something else I wanted to mention. Oh, PPG Smoke sent me some images of some of the work. I don't know if I'm allowed to share this, but I'll share it with you guys anyways. Ryan Roberts, he ain't watching. Actually, I think he might be flying for the first time in a while. He messaged me today, and he said he was going to go to Little Black. Let's see if he actually does it. He sent me some pictures of the Kevin. Oh, that's right. I did tell Kevin I was going to give him a shirt. Hold on, Kevin. I'm going to write this down. I reminded him. Thank you, Kevin. Can fly. You want to work for paraglidingtalk.com?
You pay me. I want insurance too.
You want insurance?
For my 5 kids.
My wife's in the background trolling me. This is horrible.
And I'm watching. I'll give away more money.
Don't be giving away more money, girl. Be giving my money to YouTube. Hey, Mark Amundsen.
Sure.
Glad to see he's putting out videos again. I like his videos. Workout of 5 Eastern time. Good night. Thank you. PPG Explorer. Thank you, man. Appreciate you watching the show. You guys are awesome. Kevin can fly. Got to make a t-shirt. What size shirt was it? Gosh darn it, woman.
Don't tell me what to do.
Can you hear her?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I ain't said a word. I'm like, get him. Get him.
Horrible. It's literally just getting zapped right out of the Patreon account or the PayPal account. Kyle Oakley, you are in trouble. You are not allowed to watch Paragliding Talk when you're on a date with your wife.
Oh, heck no.
He just chimed in. He's on a date.
I'm not allowed to do that.
Well, that's cool. Yankee and SC1 is going to be on Paramotor Nation next week, huh? He came on our show. That was a pretty awesome one.
Next week's going to be Leah Catullo.
Oh, Leah's coming on next week.
Yeah, and then after that will be Todd.
Nice.
We're looking forward to that.
So anytime somebody says Leah Catullo, I always think of the comment that she left. I never win anything. And then she actually got her name pulled out of the hat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, that's the person that says they never won anything. Yeah.
Speaking of winning, let's give away the PPG smoke machine and or the hey trike flyer. You rock, man. The PPG smoke machine or chase cam, my PPG smoke.
Just gave $10.
I know, I see that. That's I just did. That's Dave. Don't tell me what to do. Dave's
I'm going to give more money if you keep it.
Robert, why don't you move over? Let Aaron just finish the show off. Apparently.
Come here. Just come here. I want to see you. You just sit over there and troll.
And I think she needs to sign off tonight.
Mark Amundsen. Oh, yeah. I'll definitely send you the invite. I'm going to send it right now. Mark. M-A-R. Oh, they're saying hi here. You want to hear? There you go.
Hey, Aaron. How you doing? Oh, she's not in there.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Aaron.
Hey.
Hey, listen now. Yesterday was my birthday. This is perfect timing. So, what you could do? Why, thank you, Robert. Robert really wanted me to have something special, so he said that you should donate to the show enough money for one of those chase cams, so that way he could send it to me in the mail for my birthday.
Is that
Don't you wait? Hold on a second. Didn't you already get one?
I think that's pretty much what he said. No, I got a smoke machine, but
oh yeah, you got a smoke machine.
When I host the show, I'll do that because I'll be in control, right?
You can't rig the program.
I can do what I want if I host the show, right?
So Ethan wants you to close out the show by saying, "If I don't see you in the air, I'll see you on the air." You have to say that at the end.
I was thinking, "Happy wife, happy life," but
happy wife, happy life.
See,
peace out.
True.
She hit me in the face.
I did. I'll do it again.
She is the producer in the background.
Oh, at least she didn't give you the
pants in the family, but I just pick them out.
Awesome.
She just tells me which ones to wear. Is that what you're talking about?
That's how it goes.
All right, let's give away a machine.
You guys ready?
All right. Bye, guys.
Who's the winner chicken dinner? Oh, we just lost like half of the people watching because you left. It's the winner is Robert Higbee of North Carolina. Congratulations, Robert Higbee. You are the winner, chicken dinner. You either win a smoke machine or a chase cam. Congratulations. Reach out to me in the comments. For whatever reason, I didn't get your email address. So Robert Higbee of North Carolina, please reach out to me. And if I don't hear from you, I do have your phone number. I will send you a text message to get your email from you. And congratulations.
Wow,
Winner, chicken
Mike
dinner.
S is talking smack. She looks happy spending your money.
Who said that?
Mike S.
Mike S. It's true. Mike S has been watching the show from like the very first episode.
The last couple of days, I bought a new wand and Converse.
Todd Scandrick, North Carolina.
NC PPG pilot. That's your winner.
Much better half.
No, it's not.
Jim CR, but hello, Robert's much better.
This is off the track.
Robert Higbee. Yeah, I really appreciate everybody being a part of the show, and especially you guys that have been here from the very beginning. I remember I think the first episode we had like 10 people, and 5 of them were actually on the panel. So it's pretty cool when we log on and we, like right now there's like 80 people watching. And so you guys are awesome.
10 people watching. 10 people on the panel. Oh, well.
Yeah. And I think that your show, by the way, the Paramotor Nation show, is just going to take off and surpass everything we're doing. You guys you have such a great thing. I love it. And I just wish that I could log in and be a part of it live every weekend, but it's just, it doesn't work.
We'll make a special show for you, Robert.
This
seriously.
is the special show. It's Thursday night.
It is. I agree. Totally agree.
You guys come on my show.
Robert,
that's all we need.
You laid all the groundwork, and it's because of you is what we're doing. And we just want to, follow in your footsteps and spread the word just like you have been, and just, give another option another night. So it's kudos to you for doing all the groundwork.
Yeah, you guys are awesome, man. Well, I'm going to call this a night. I really appreciate everybody. Thank you for those who have been supporting the show for a long time now. We're going to take this thing to the next level. Mark Amundsen, I sent you an invite. You should have been able to come on, or you might be just waiting for the post show. I'll send Kyle an invite too before I log off. But I need to get on the road. We've got a church function tonight, and it's going to be a good time. So I don't want to miss out on that. And so next week, you don't want to miss next week. It's going to be a great time. David Ruff, episode 77, Trike Flyer. We're going to talk all kinds of stuff about paragliding. You guys rock. I'll be sending out those invites. I'll send out a hard invite to you, Mark, right after this. And so you guys will be good to go. Thank you again. Awesome. Oh, by the way, you can follow also on Instagram. There's a link in the description, and there's a link to all these websites for all the sponsors, everybody who sponsors the show. Guy mentioned earlier in the show that he couldn't find the Paramotor Tools LLC because he was trying to look up paragliding tools. So it's paramotortools.com. Go check that out. Oh, hey, Mom. Love you too. My wife just pointed at the chat and said, look, your mom said I love you. Paramotor Fly Girl, have a great night. Appreciate you. Hope you got your shirt. We'll see you next week on Paramotor Nation.
This Sunday.
Sunday.
I'll
definitely be checking in on that one. Ferret 0007. Thank you. Good night. Thank you for your contribution. You guys rock. Go check out paraglidingtalk.com. There's all kinds of resources on there too, by the way. If you haven't checked out the resources page, there's all kinds of weather stuff for the local stuff, and there's some good stuff. You want to close the show, babe?
No, I already did.
Come on, Aaron.
I already said something.
What are you going to say?
I'll be a sport. I like your glasses. See, those are cool.
He said he likes your glasses.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. I can see all the comments now, and I can pronounce names. Peace out, people. Later.
That's good.
All right. You guys have a good night. Thank you again for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.
Bye.
See you guys.